Today's word vitamin is on fatigue. Now, compassion fatigue is an area that a lot of people get confused about, because when somebody we care about, or if our job, like mine is working with people in trauma, and I work with film crews that go out and film for news shows, so they're on the front line of the worst accidents and the worst crimes. I work with AMBOs and people in mental health, and a lot of my clients are life coaches and counsellors themselves. And what they find is, if they are consistently giving, because it's a part of their job, that they can hit that dead zone where they just become an automatic pilot. And you've probably come across those doctors, that don't have a very good bedside manner. They're very matter of fact and quite robotic. And very often, long-term doctors and people in that mental health area do have to self-preserve, do have to develop some techniques so that they can keep going. Now, there are two types of fatigue, and if you get a chance to read today's word vitamin, I sort of break them down for you. And I use the analogy, for any mothers listening to this, giving birth to a child. Now, that's hard labour. But for many of us, giving birth to a child is also realising a dream. So we often get fatigue when we are working on a dream. I know for those writers out there, I'm plodding away on a book I've been working on for quite some time, and I'm now at the very tail end in editing, and I can be at that computer for 6 hours straight, or up at 3 in the morning writing, and there's a fatigue that comes with that, but also a joy. So there are two types of fatigue. There is the fatigue as a byproduct of heartfelt labour that also nurtures you at the same time, because you're nurturing a dream, like birthing a child, like helping friends move house, like getting in your garden on the weekends or whatever else, renovating. It's tiring. You watch people on that show, The Block. It's tiring, but the elation, because you're focused on a dream, and hard labour is a component of that. But it self-nourishes. However, compassion fatigue can kick in when there is no break, and the component of duty that, your commitment to your work, or your commitment to perhaps, I also see compassion fatigue in those that are nursing the terminally ill, and it might be, you might not be a nurse, it might be a loved one. You only can give so much of your heart until you will hit that dead zone, which means you need to refuel. So I also mentioned in today's word vitamin, when I hit compassion fatigue, we were federally funded back in 2004 through to 2006 and had a drop-in centre. And, being the recovering addict like I am, I opened 6 days a week. And we were open, from 7 a.m. through until 8 p.m. and running groups every day. And I hit a wall. And for many of us, we do want to give, we do want to heal, we do want to be the best versions of ourselves. But if we leave ourselves off of the list when it comes to self-care and compassion for ourselves, and that is your hungry, angry, lonely, tired, make sure you sleep well, make sure you eat well. If you're angry, overloaded, you can't keep giving to others without making sure you're on the list and giving to yourself as well. And sometimes, I often say to my clients, you don't have to worry about my boundaries. I've been doing my work for 20 years. I'm really good at saying no, and I'm really good at emotional self-care. I couldn't do this work if I wasn't. And like a personal trainer at a gym is really fit themselves, because they couldn't do the work nor have credibility if they weren't. They've got to look after their own physical health and well-being as well. So the question today is, when it comes to fatigue, if you find yourself just going, I'm so tired, I can't do this anymore, do you just need a rest from your dream, or are you overcommitting with your work and your energy output? Because if output is greater than input, you're going to burn out. Simple as that. So spot one, you got one. I always do word vitamins on the shit that I need to get better at. I'm still a work in progress. I haven't nailed this, but day at a time, we all get better together if we just keep gently working on those areas where we need to remember that we deserve as much love and care as those in our midst do as well. Mwah. Lots of love. Hope that was helpful. See ya.